Gemini, hello my darlings, how are you? Welcome to your reading for the week of the 27th of June 2022. We've got an early card out for you from the Chakra Insight Oracle. Thank you. I was just getting the message that we needed two more cards as the case may be here. So the first card out from the Chakra Insight Oracle for yourself was sexuality. So openness, sharing, beauty and honor. Okay. The next card out was the honesty card. Someone else has had this week. I can't quite remember who it was. It may come back to me. So honesty, truth, transparency, sincerity, communication. So a potential invitation to open up that throat chakra. You may want to unlock some truths, some things that you've been wanting to say, some things that you've been wanting to share. It could maybe be to do with this sexuality card. It may be that you're needing to speak up a little bit about what it is that you're needing in terms of a sexual or sensual support. We also have the intelligence card. Education, knowledge, perception and flexibility. So this is very much you, isn't it, Gemini? Apologies for the light there on the card. Very much you. You are very good thinkers. You are extremely intelligent, extremely witty. Very good chance that you are studying something. You are often always learning, my beautiful Gemini friends. So you're always wanting to challenge yourself with that intellect. Okay, I am just pulling out a couple of cards as well from the Goddess Guidance Oracle card deck. The first card out you have is a Coventina. The words on here are purification. Purification is the main word. The blurb is, it is time for a cleansing detoxification of your body and mind. Okay. See how close I can get that with it staying in focus. And the other goddess energy we have coming through is Anya, Ain, I can never say it properly, leap of faith. Take a risk and put your heart's true desire into action. So potentially some sort of leap of faith needing or happening this week for you, some sort of energy around that. Let's see, I've just got the sense that that's very much the energy of the Fool, so it'd be interesting to see if we get a Fool card. I always like to see what energies come through and corroborate throughout a reading. So I have also been drawn to get a couple of cards from the traditional Rider-Waite tarot deck as well. And the first card you've got from the Rider-Waite is the Two of Pentacles. So there may be some juggling of energies that's going on. You may be even at a crossroads where you're determining between two different paths. So that there is our Two of Pentacles, my beautiful Gemini. And you also have the High Priestess. Okay. So a similar theme to, again, one of the other readings also had, I think, the Two of Pentacles and the High Priestess. And again, it was about this balance and inviting in that balance actually it was very similar reading, inviting in that balance of juggling too many things, the balance of dark and light, the balance of, good and bad, even in terms of what's going on for what we bring into our bodies. Okay, so balancing up the healthy body habits, so eating healthy food, but also balancing up any negative emotions as well. So I am doing the bulk of the reading with the Tarot of Curious Creatures by Chris Ann. And I will try and get all the cards. It's difficult for me to not want to talk to you, but I'll try and get all the cards out before I start talking through it too much. The first card out you have is the Five of Wands. And that's in the position of your week as a whole. So there could be a little bit of potential challenge or competition or something coming through. Look at me, here I go. I'm already telling you too much. Seven of Pentacles is the next card out. We then have the Justice card. This has come out in a few readings this week as well. Most of the messages actually around the Justice card have been about a karmic justice. So it'll be interesting to see how all of that unfolds for you as well. As I'm shuffling, I'm looking straight back up to that Coventina card. We've got the Justice here with the two scales. We've got the Two of Pentacles, that juggling again there. We've got this the Goddess there, holding and juggling and trying to balance that idea of purification and bringing balance back to that. So definitely, if I had to pick a keyword at this point, it would be about balance. But as I said, we'll keep going, see what else comes up. Now, you've got a lot of cards here, so I'm getting told to go this way. So the next card out is the Moon card. Okay. You then have the Seven of Cups. You have the Tower card. You have the Ten of Cups. It's nice to see a Ten of Cups following a Tower card. And you have the Devil. Okay. So this does close out the layout in terms of the box. And the final card that I'm going to be drawing is the card that sits outside of the box. So it's an additional message from Spirit, from the universe, whatever your beliefs are around that sort of thing. But it's also a way for us to think outside of the box too. So if we've got some challenging energies, which potentially we do in this spread, it may be a way for us to think outside of the box, to think differently and how we can approach that situation. So we have two cards that have come out here. We have the Nine of Wands, okay, and we also have the Ace of Cups. So that's always a lovely message from the universe, a gift from the universe. All right, my lovely Geminis, just going to zoom out for a bit, have a look, see what's going on as a general feel for you. I get the sense that this Devil is relating back to this Coventina card. So this idea about cleansing, detoxification of your body and mind. The Devil is often about being out of balance due to, it can sometimes be addictions, and it could be food, it could be sex, it could be alcohol, it could be drugs, it could be social media. It could be, you could be even out of balance with this idea of intellect. Maybe there's too much of a weight that you put on this idea. Maybe you're a super learner. Maybe you can bring some balance into that as well. So that's one of the key things that's coming through, is this idea of balance, is this idea of finding that middle ground. It'd be nice to have the Temperance card in here, but we don't. But it's about finding that middle ground, balancing out those addictions, those bad habits, and finding a way to bring in some peace around that. Yeah. Okay. So the other thing is, okay, we've got a few challenging cards. We have the Five of Wands in your position of the week as a whole. So that could be some potential conflict. It could be some sort of competitive situation as well. So there may be some sort of competition between yourself and someone or some other people. It could be around work, and I say that because either side of that you've got the Seven of Pentacles, and below you've got the Devil, which is sitting in the position of your career. So I feel like this conflict, this competition could be potentially in a work environment. So, and with the Devil there in the career position relating to this, I feel like the Devil here is saying that someone may be not what they appear to be. Someone may not be all they appear to be. So they might appear charming, charismatic, they've got it all together, they're charming, they're smooth, but deep down they have or they represent unhealthy patterns. So I feel like if you're in competition with this person or this energy, I actually feel like you can come out the victor. And again, I'll explain why I'm seeing that. It's because of this Seven of Pentacles, and also leading then on into the Justice card. So the Seven of Pentacles is about having longevity. So it's something that you've been growing and nurturing for a long time. It's something that you can demonstrate that you put in the effort, and now you are reaping the rewards. And then following on from that is the Justice card. So it feels like if this conflict is in a work situation, that this justice will prevail, that there will be this balancing out of good and bad, addictions and, purification. So I do feel like that's a very strong placement for you. Yeah, definitely getting the feeling that it's about work, but it's also leaning into that idea of purifying your body and mind as well. So it could be in your work situation as well. There could be some unhealthy relationships that are going on around you. So in terms of purifying your mind, it might be that you might want to remove yourself from situations as much as you can in whatever environment that is for you. And it could even be in terms of your body that, there's some unhealthy patterns that are going on with you at work in relation to food or alcohol. So maybe it's a very social environment, and, the Friday night drinks end up being 2 nights a week, and, you go out and you have too many drinks, or, maybe you're in an office where every second day it's someone's birthday and they bring in cake. So I feel like this purification can relate to that, or definitely does relate to that devil energy. It's something around work. It's something about that environment that you're placed in. And it's absolutely an invitation to address those addictions and see how you can better manage them, see how you can break those chains, see how you can walk free. So if you look closely, if you can see, the people in these cages, the cage doors are actually open. So they are actually free to leave. So that's an important thing to remember about the devil, is that sometimes these restrictions that we believe are in place are actually almost an illusion, and that we actually do have the freedom to break free of those chains. And look, this is corroborated here also by the moon card. So sometimes the moon can be about fears and anxieties. It's kind of where we feel afraid of the unseen sometimes. And what I'd like to say is that in this case, the moon is going to highlight and illustrate and illuminate maybe some darker aspects of what's going on around you, or what's the situation that you find yourself in. Okay, I have got a little bit distracted, but we'll jump into some of the other cards in terms of where they lie in the layout. So I have spoken about that Five of Wands being that overall energy for the week. I've spoken about that Seven of Pentacles being it's harvest time, okay? You put in the hard work. This is sitting in the position of something unexpected or a surprise this week. So it may well be that something comes along this week that is like a return on your investment, but it's not a full return, okay? It's a partial return on your investment. You then get to reassess how you want to maybe reinvest whatever it is that's come into you. It's about kind of pruning and pulling up the weeds and, really kind of encouraging that new growth. So you're being rewarded for the hard work that you've already done, but you're also in a position where you can look at how to move forward and what you would like to put in place to continue that growth. All right. So it's a positive card. It's a very kind of even, solid energy as well. This Justice card is sitting in the position of how we can stay grounded and focused this week. So I think it really is, this overwhelming message is coming in about balance for me, okay? So I think in terms of how we can stay grounded and focused, it's about remembering that we need that balance, because if the ledger is weighed down one way, too heavy on one side, it can only kind of hold that for so long before it gets too heavy and it drops, So it's to have this perfect balance, perfect weight. As I said, and I will say it again, that balancing there of the Two of Pentacles, that constant juggling, it can only go on for so long. That balancing of dark and light there with the High Priestess, the balancing there with the Coventina purification. So finding that balance, it's all about finding balance this week for you. The Moon card is sitting in the position of your emotions this week. So this could be emotionally that you are sort of maybe feeling a little bit fearful about something. I would suggest that maybe the Tower card is going to come up, and it's going to be sitting in how we can best support ourselves. I don't know that it's necessarily about the Tower. I actually think this fear that you hold might be to do with this Nine of Wands. So there may be some kind of wounded warrior type energy here. There might be some sort of final push that you're having to, fight for. You're having to put in that extra bit of effort to get to the finish line. So I feel there may be some fears around that. But if you have a look at the face on that beautiful warrioress, you can see how strong and courageous she is. So I think the advice here is to not be fearful of those challenges, of those darker aspects. Don't be fearful of this devil energy. We do need both light and dark. We can't always be in the light. The other thing with this Moon card too is that, sometimes our fears can be unwarranted. So if you were to hear this wolf howling in the distance of a full moon, it might frighten the bejeebers out of you. But if you are to watch that moon, that wolf howling at the moon from a distance where you felt safe, it's actually a very beautiful thing to see that creature, I guess, like appreciating the illumination that the moon has provided. So the moon has come out to offer this illumination. It's come out to enlighten those dark corners. There's a lot of darkness in these three cards here as well. There's all these dark corners, and I feel like the moon is coming in to illuminate those dark corners so that you may look at some of these bad habits, some of these things that can potentially be transitioned out of your life, maybe some of these bad habits that can be transitioned out of your life. Okay, so the next card out is the Seven of Cups, and this is sitting in the position of inspirations this week. So it may well be that you're overwhelmed for choice this week. So some of those, you've got all these cups to choose from, okay? Some of them offer beautiful things. Some of them offer not so beautiful things. So I think with this card, if you are spoiled for choice, again, you've got this Two of Pentacles, can often be juggling too many things. Sometimes it is juggling more than just two things. So if you're juggling too many things, it's an invitation to slow down and step back, connect in with your heart and make that decision of which way you want to go from a heart space. And again, you've got this Seven of Cups, so you've got the two sevens. In terms of this Seven of Pentacles, this little guy is being very practical about how he reinvests those pentacles, or how he moves forward with his harvesting, his pruning and that sort of thing. Whereas the Seven of Cups really does invite you into that heart space a little bit more. So the Tower is in the position of how we can best support ourselves this week. And I think the message that's coming through here is again that it's a recognition of this, and I'd say it in inverted commas, this darker energy of the devil, the moon. The Tower can be very destructive, but similar to what I said about the moon illuminating that darkness, the Tower is a necessary shake-up, okay? So the Tower is unstable in the first place. It's no longer holding its structure the way it should. The Tower in the Rider-Waite Tarot deck is collapsing. It's on flames. There's people jumping out of it. So it's somewhere you don't want to be. And if we can see a Tower moment coming, it kind of wises us up to think outside the box. You know, this final push, we can actually do it. And we know how to then approach it more confidently. And it can be less destructive if we kind of see it coming, if we can put in some measures in place to navigate our way through. You know, can we actually exit the Tower before it collapses down around us? So that's this sense that I'm getting with this Tower energy. I do feel like if some of these imbalances are not addressed, that could actually lead to that Tower moment. So in terms of supporting yourself, it might just be confirmation that it's a good time for you to look at what is out of balance in your life. And, you know, maybe you can find a new Tower to live in, you know, before it crumbles. Or maybe, depending on where this Tower energy is in your life, maybe you can have an engineer or something come in and patch up the cracks, you know, if it's not too far gone. So, and that's obviously a metaphor, okay? So do take it as it resonates, but I don't see it as necessarily a bad thing. It's a way of, like, you know, it's a way of starting again. And you've got the Ten of Cups on the other side of it. So the Ten of Cups is this, you know, happy ever after. It's, you know, joy, abundance, happiness, you know, all the feels, okay? So, and this is sitting in the position of your relationships this week. So again, feeling very stable and secure and happy, abundant in terms of your relationships this week. So that's a really nice energy to draw on if any of these challenges kind of crop up for you this week, okay? So I have already talked about the devil in terms of being in the position of your career. It could also be a Capricorn in your life that is in your career environment, or somebody in your work environment that sort of demonstrates this too cool for school, you know, almost charming, charismatic, but a little bit of the darkness there, okay? Maybe the wolf in sheep's clothing even. Okay, so the only other cards I haven't really touched on, I have talked about that Nine of Wands, so there may be some kind of final push that is required for you to get through a particular situation. It may take a little bit of extra courage to address these imbalances, to address this, you know, these addictions potentially. Obviously, if it's anything significant, please don't be afraid to seek professional help. You know, if it's a serious addiction or, you know, an addiction to sex or something like that, like it's not, you know, it's not a bad thing to seek help with anything that has a strong hold, if you know what I mean. The Ace of Cups, again, I did speak about very briefly, but this is an opportunity, a gift from the universe. So there may be something that's coming towards you, potentially, obviously, a new beginning. Aces are new beginnings. And it could even be a new romance, but it could also be just something that comes in that offers a potential to just open up your heart and bring in that joy and abundance and incredible happiness. We've talked about the Two of Cups, Two of Pentacles, this idea about juggling too many things. The High Priestess, there may be some sort of intuitive wisdom as well that's dropping into you this week. So I feel like that's less, the message is less about that. I think that card has really come through because of the two columns, the dark and the light column. It's come through as a corroboration for this balancing energy that's come up in your reading. So the thing that really wasn't really confirmed in the reading itself are these 3 chakra energy cards. So it may well be that this is kind of a different story that's going on for you than, because I feel like this is very much in the career space. So it could be this is what's going on for you in the personal space. So sexuality, this week may be an invitation for you to explore your feelings around sexuality. This truth and transparency honesty card, speaking your truth, speaking your voice, this may be required if you're looking at some of this shadow stuff, some of these addictions. You may need to be truthful with yourself about that. Even this intelligence, learning knowledge card, if you are looking at any addictions or any bad habits, that sort of thing, it may be a good idea to school yourself up on how you can best address those as well. So that's kind of the additional message I'm getting from those, but they may have messages for you that you are aware of that I am not as well. So please do take that as it resonates. If those messages are coming through for you, listen to that, because that's your high priestess giving you your own message, okay? So obviously I can't give the message for everybody that's watching. Some things will resonate more than others, but if there's something in here that, or any of the reading that is dropping in particularly for you, that's your higher wisdom, that's your guides, that's your intuition giving you those messages as part of what you're seeing here and what we're talking through. Okay. All right. Very interesting. This leap of faith card, it could be this Ace of Cups, so there may be this offer of romance for some of my Geminis, and if that's the case, it does bode well. It's saying, take a risk, put your heart's desires, true desires into action. So if this is an offer of romance, it does look like it's a nice opportunity. Sometimes with the offer of a romance, if the devil card was there, I would say maybe be a little bit careful. But because I feel like that devil is really sitting in that work, career, day-to-day life, and the addictions, potentially bad habits, I feel like it's not going to be related to any offers of love that may be coming in towards you. All right, my darling Geminis, I hope you've enjoyed the reading. If you have, please do like, share and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you next week. And just a quick reminder that I will never contact you directly on any medium, and I will never ask you for money, credit card details, anything like that. So please do be careful. There's loads of scammers out there. And I look forward to seeing you next week. All right, my friends. Bye-bye.